How you spend your time defines who you are. Look at your calendar last week. What did you spend the most time on? You are what you do, not what you say you will do. We all have some sort of vision, a version of ourselves that we would like to become. That's why we set goals and we try to achieve them. Unfortunately, most people ride the New Year momentum, and they try to do everything until they get burned out already by mid-February. To me, New Year resolution is great for giving a sense of direction and hope. But if we zoom in quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily, success lies in the small things. All the little promises that we make to ourselves. So, how do we show up every day and do what we say we will do? We all feel the resistance if we are asked to do something that we don't like to do, anything that feels like a chore or too boring. So, a big part of the hack is just to make the thing that you want to do more fun and easy. I think discipline is not something that you either have or not have. It's just like any other skill that you can practice, you can learn, and then become better at. Here are 5 concepts that tremendously helped me build my self-discipline. Hope it will help you too in your journey. Number 1, figure out your intrinsic motivation. Stop following what the society or others tell you should do. Chase for the money, for the fame, for the status. We should all have a clear vision of the version of ourselves that we want to be. Specifically, what kind of habits or behaviors that person has, and then you just do that thing. I do this future self exercise once a year or so, and I get really specific on the details of my lifestyle, where I want to live, who I want to surround myself with, what kind of work do I do day to day, and what kind of habits that I have, even what kind of clothes that I'm wearing. This is how I figure out the ideal self that I want to be and my current self, figure out the gap in between, and then I can try to take some action to close the gap. These days when I journal, I often feel immensely grateful because I'm almost there if I don't move the goalposts. I have almost everything that I want. I have no pressure, I don't follow what the society tells me to do, and it's all on me. I take personal agency in the goals that I'm trying to achieve. That version of myself serves as intrinsic motivation for me. I'm just really motivated to become that person instead of following all the other society metrics, like the money in your bank account or the job title, whatever. When you have intrinsic motivation, you stay true to yourself. That makes you happier in the long term as well. Number 2, understand the fundamentals. When we talk about habits, discipline is usually related to some long-term goals. Long-term in regards to health in specific. One of the fundamentals is to wake up and sleep at the same time every day, regardless of weekdays or weekends. I understand that deep in my heart. That's why for the sake of my health, I just do it. I wake up and sleep around the same time every day, 90% of the time. And speaking of health, another fundamental is to eat more whole food. We all know that consuming too much ultra-processed food is not good for us. If you really understand that fundamental, then for the sake of your health, you will start to alter your behavior. You want to be good to your future self. That's why I stick to my diet, stick to my sleep schedule, stick to my exercise routine 90% of the time. I think a lot of discipline has to do with delayed gratification. If you have a clear vision of your future self and understanding the fundamentals, you can take a lot of decision making away and just do the damn thing. There is no other choice. As Brianna always said, let your choices be guided by the person you hope to become. By the way, I talk about delayed gratification in this video here that you can also check it out. Of course, delaying rewards is easier said than done. We all like immediate feedback and instant gratification. That's why the third concept I have is that we are more motivated by pain avoidance than pleasure seeking. If you think about the worst case scenario of doing or not doing something, think about the snowball effect. That will make you want to avoid the consequence. For example, if I decide to order takeaway tonight after work instead of going out for a walk, down the line, who will I become? I might be out of shape because the more days I do that, then the more lazy I become. And then the more unhealthy food that I consume, the less that I walk, the less I exercise. It's just a whole snowball effect. And it all starts on day 1 of you not keeping the promise to yourself that you will go for a walk. I can't even imagine that consequence. That sounds like a lot of pain. That's why I prefer getting up, going for a walk, and cooking my own meals. Another related idea is the next concept. I try to balance short-term and long-term rewards. As I talked about in another video, I do practice sensible delayed gratification. Most habits or discipline are related to long-term goals and health. For example, I hope my teeth will not decay because I have been flossing and brushing my teeth every single day, and I hope that I will remain mobile when I'm old because I have good muscle mass and I'm flexible, etc. That's why I think it's alright to skip the habit once in a while. It won't hurt the long-term progress. For example, I rarely, sometimes, have dessert after a workout, just to reward myself, because that day I did not want to get up, but I did it anyway. This is how I actually use short-term reward to make myself not to skip that thing. I feel like exercising than having dessert is better than not exercising at all. Another example might be having good food with good company after a hard workout. Or pair some undesirable activity with the desirable ones. For example, I like to listen to podcasts when I wash dishes, and I like to write emails in a cafe. That's how I pair the activity that I want to do with like a reward thing, desirable activity. So when I do them together, then I can make sure that I get things done. As James Clear says, never miss a habit more than 2 days in a row. Keep yourself accountable. The last concept is to create system and find your bare minimum on bad days, because bad days are unavoidable. Also, as James Clear says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, but fall to the standard of your system. Sometimes you do have to create system to make sure you do that thing just like a robot. Whether that be meal prepping, workout schedule, content creation, you need to know your standard. For me, I meal prep every week, usually on Monday because that's my day off. I work out 3-4 times a week because I have a training program to follow. I have a very rigid content creation schedule. I have to upload video every Tuesday and Friday. That's my standard. I don't make any excuse. So how much can you perform even on your bad days? Yes, we are actually emotional creatures, not robots. There will be days we just want to give up. But by finding your bare minimum, the little thing that you can do even on days you don't want to show up, you can just tell yourself, okay, now I'm going to sit down, do that thing for 5 minutes and call it a day. As I mentioned earlier, discipline is a skill that we can develop. We can learn to tame our mind and build confidence by taking more action. Make more streaks. And I think that keeping promises we make to ourselves is so underrated. It not only defines our success, but it builds our self-esteem as well. After all, we all want to be happier, healthier, and more fulfilled in life. Mastering self-discipline is crucial. If you enjoyed this video, please also check out this video here in which I talk about more personal development stuff. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.